Welcome to the fourth and last part of the course, Responsive Web Applications with Bootstrap and CSS. This is the advanced part. My name is Farhad Eftekhari and I'm the lecturer of this course. It would be nice to mention that a big portion of the content of this course has been provided from the official website of Bootstrap, from this website. Many nice materials, and they update it time to time, especially after release of new versions. Before starting with the material of the course, make sure you already register in the portal with this address. You got accepted. Here are some typographical conventions which we use throughout the material of the course. Make sure to make yourself familiar with them, and you're gonna see them on the bottom of a slide some to time. The difficulty level indicator, this is it. So we divided the course into 3 different difficulty level. It's up to the student how deep they want to gain the knowledge. Some would like to just get familiar with the easy material as a brief introduction entry, and then some would like to go all the way inside and then see what are like the most complicated and hard topics. And here there is a slide framework. You can see the title, difficulty level indicator is on the top, slide number, content, course name, section name, and those icons. For the material of and the content of this part of the course, first we're gonna go a bit deeper with color coding, as we discussed also in the previous part, how to insert like these embeds in your web pages, positioning, sizing, spacing, text styling, how to use those icon libraries instead of using small images and icons, using JavaScript, just the introduction part, and then some specific HTML5 data attributes, a bit about accessibility and screen readers, some examples where we can find them, and Bootstrap themes, and a very short introduction to other frameworks, as I mentioned, most popular ones other than Bootstrap, because Bootstrap is not the only CSS framework. We already know HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language and CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. As I also point out previously, like in the previous course, previous part of the course, it's nice to make yourself like familiar with these keywords: primary, secondary, success, danger, warning, info, light, dark, and white. Because as I said before, in many cases you need to deliver a message or an alert or something to your users, and it's very important what kind of color you're using, because humans, well, we have some sort of definitions for each color. Like this one definitely is danger, red light, or green light, like success, something has been done successfully. So it's very important to use them accordingly on a specific situation, so make sure to understand them and try to use them perfectly. And here also you can see for text you can also use colors. So sometimes not only for some components but also for text you can also get the best out of them. We can try actually. Let's open Atom, and then let's see if we can also see them in a web page. Okay, let's get back to our file. We already created this file previously. If you just started, I'm gonna copy paste it here, save it, and then let's just open this. Yeah, as you can see here now, the text color is like according to this specific color, not the components. And here you can see the exact code. Yeah, here also we only added the background for you to see this color. So let's get back to our example. Here you can also see this background. But if I actually remove them, it's going to be very, very hard for you to notice the color. So it's very important to see on what kind of background you're applying these colors. See, almost nothing. But when I right click or try to hover and select it, you can see it. All right. And also for links, you can also use these colors. So for components, for text, and also for your links and the colors you're assigning to them. And of course, I recommend your website have some sort of a same pattern, not like just, I don't know, place colors for each link differently. So it's nice that your users get familiar with your style and your color coding and everything. So try to use them wisely. And then we have this also background for table rows, whatever you feel like it's needed. So you can also apply this background. Let's see how they look like. Okay, very beautiful. That's it for the color coding. Okay, embeds are very important and very, very practical and handy tool. Sometimes you would like to insert iframe or video, some video from YouTube you like to insert in your pages, so you can use embeds. And they are very, very practical and interesting. And also you can allocate a specific aspect ratio according to your video size and then make them also responsive. So let it be your challenge to also trying to use them. We also include these embeds in our portal. If I go there, this is like the example of having embeds there. So if you just open up one of them, and then you see this one is like one embed. Don't want to start it. Let's just inspect the code. Let's see if we can find it. You have the main here, yeah. Probably here, yeah, video container, yeah, this one. This little guy. You have the iframe and then you can see also how nicely and it's being shown based on the responsiveness according to the size of your page. Oops. So it's also good practice to make all of the elements of your page responsive in a way. Positioning is also very interesting and important concept when it comes to placing your elements in a proper place that you're looking for. So this is also something that you can use. You may be familiar with this position equal to aesthetic relative absolute fixed previously from CSS part, but it's nice to know you can also apply classes to make them like this, to inherit those specific CSS rules. And then you can also be in control of the sizing of your elements with width, height, and max value for both of them. So it's also nice to know you can allocate these classes like W-25. It makes the element 25% of the whole size that it has, and then the other ones as well. I'm not sure if the middle numbers are also being considered. Let's just try. Why not? It would be an interesting example. Let's just put them here. And as an example, let's just create something fun here. I'm gonna place 80. Let's also just place 20. Why not? Okay. Now let's see. Good practice. Okay, no. So when you place any numbers other than 25, 50, 75, and 100, then it's being considered as 100. Good to know. Same about height as well. You can see also height is being considered as a portion of the whole size that you're having. And according to this previous test, then you assume also these numbers are the same, and we won't expect 20 or 80 to also work. Max value is also very interesting and important. Sometimes you allocate max value to size of element to make sure the element is not gonna get like bigger than that amount. So it's also interesting. And the class is like this: max height or max width. Very beneficial concept actually. Alright, now let's talk about the spacing a little bit. So it's very flexible system to make Bootstrap be in charge of the spacing of your elements. Here there's a very nice example. You see, these class names are getting from this convention. So whenever you're like looking forward to consider which side, is it gonna be left, right, bottom, top, or what is the property, what is like margin or padding. So this one, the first one stands for either padding or margin, as we got familiar in the CSS part. And then here you can allocate which size you're talking about, and after that, what is the expected size for a spacing. Very interesting convention. So let's talk about this one. So we are talking about padding, and then for both left and right, and then allocating these two as the size of that. And also, as we discussed earlier, now a bit deeper about text styling, we have alignments, wrapping, overflow, transform, font weight, and italics, vertical alignment, and visibility. We are already familiar with like most of them, but let's just go through them. About the alignment, when you want to justify one paragraph, it's nice to use this class, and then we also have different classes, as you can see here, the different impacts of them. And also for wrapping element in the middle of like text or something, then you can also always do this. There are specific classes for wrapping. And then sometimes we are talking about overflow, because especially in mobile view, when you are like making the page pretty small with the width or height, then they are like limited the space, so we can somehow not let like the text to become bigger than we expect in different kind of a screen size. So that's also something nice to know exists for us to use. And then we can also transform and change text to lowercase or uppercase by this. So it's also interesting to see. There are like a specific classes for that. We don't need to write plain CSS code for that. and also for font weight. So I seriously recommend you never ever use font HTML tag, because that's very outdated. There's no need to combine the logic of your structure and look of your pages inside of one file. So we should always consider using these classes instead of like using those like design related HTML tags. Tags, yeah. And about vertical alignment, here you can see also the effect of using different classes. You want to put them something like in the a little bit top or middle or bottom. Well, here you can see the limit of this was like a bit small, so that's why middle and bottom are like somehow being considered as the same size and alignment. And then we have vertical alignment here. These nice classes that you can use. And then we have visibility. Sometimes we like to hide some elements inside of a div or something, so we can use the classes visible and invisible. And of course, invisible, make them invisible. You can try. Let's just place them in our page. Low and invisible. Let's see now. Now we only can see the visible one, but when we go to the source code, we see also this one exists, but it's not being shown. All right, now let's talk about icon libraries. It's kind of outdated anymore. It's not being used. These image files we placed inside of our web pages, because when it comes to responsiveness, then we should consider saving multiple size of images. So the solution for that is these icon libraries. They are mostly in SVG format, so they are like vertical files, not pixel files, so that's why they can be as big as you want or as small as you want. And they have a very nice variety of choices, so according to your need, then you can pick one related icon. And there are many nice free and popular icon libraries. Here you can get to know more about them, and you can go to their website, download them, and using them. Very, very interesting. Totally recommend you to use them instead of using images, small images for your icons. One thing I would like to mention is by using JavaScript, you make Bootstrap much more powerful, because when it comes to the functionality, when it comes to your web pages behave alongside the interaction of your users, JavaScript is very important. So later we'll also discuss what are the next steps after this course. So I will seriously recommend you to widen your knowledge about JavaScript, especially with the new technologies and new frameworks. And actually, after the introduction of HTML5, there is this very nice ability that HTML5 introduced as custom data attributes. So Bootstrap communicates with the information in a very, very nice way. So you can make these elements dynamic when you go there and the progress bar is being loaded, or there's this like many nice interaction and like animation for the elements. Then they are getting the best out of these data attributes actually that HTML5 introduced. So typically they have a name and they have a value, as you can see here, and they start with this data dash keyword. And by using these specific classes, then you are making visible or telling these screen readers that this content is for you. So it's also a nice ability to communicate with those devices in this way. They probably not gonna show them like to the normal users of like normal devices, but then when it comes to screen readers, then they are being delivered to them. And here's a link that you can also get the best out of these examples that officially Bootstrap developers placed there. So it would be nice for you to also maybe browse around and see, get to know more about them, the combination of some elements. So they are very nice and practical piece of codes, especially for introduction level. When you're working with Bootstrap, it's nice to know that already there are great number of themes as a free themes and premium themes. So it's nice to go through them. It's nice to make yourself familiarized with them, to see how they like created these nice looking pages. Sometimes, I don't know, if you're making your personal website, well, I don't recommend it for your project. I'm not gonna accept it if you use a theme. I also said it in the guideline of the project. I want you to write it by yourself, but sometimes it's nice to get a free theme or pay for like a theme and then modify it and then place your own information inside of them. So it's nice to be able to modify them. It's nice to be able to understand them, but why not use them? So it's a good recommendation. And there are many great websites for that. We have like nice for free themes, and we have nice websites for like, I don't know, up to 10, 15, maybe euro. You can buy a gorgeous looking theme and then modify it and then place your own content to it. So it's a nice thing to consider, maybe, why not? But of course you need to have your knowledge, be able to modify them, understand the elements and this kind of stuff about your website or web page that you want to use a theme for that. And then there are some benefits of using a template, faster development, seeing the end result in the beginning. So when you are getting a theme, then there is a sample look, and then you can see if it's match your needs or not. And then they most probably professionally and cleanly coded the template, so it's very easy to modify and extend it. And then you can also focus more on modification instead of like setting up the whole project and ideas and everything. And of course you can also mix and match the plugins and creating a nice end result for yourself. Alright, now let's understand and get familiar with the names of some other popular CSS frameworks. We have a short introduction about each of them, providing the release date and website, and so it's nice to actually go and get yourself familiar with them, like what is the difference between them and Bootstrap. Some of them are lighter, some of them are more complicated, so it's a nice self-study for yourself to go and work with them. And actually in the assignment we are asking you to also try one of them, especially in the industry. Sometimes I've seen some of them are also being used in a nice way. Alright, now let's talk where to go after here. For web design, it was a very nice level of expertise, but then you need to make your page works dynamically and then somehow interact with your users, communicate with your backend, if you have a server or something as a backend server with your programming language there. So it's nice to know that there are many nice other fields that you can equip yourself with those knowledge and then make yourself a very skillful web developer. So here are some areas that I recommend you to go. We are planning to actually provide other JavaScript frameworks as well in TechClass in the near future. So here are your choices if you want to gain more knowledge after here. Here is a small link for further study about HTML5 custom data attributes if you want to gain more knowledge. And make sure to report if there was any mistakes. If you are looking for some topics but we didn't cover, it would be nice to offer us, and then in the upcoming editions and updates of the course we will include them. And if you have any ideas, feel free to give us or feedbacks. So be in charge and control of leading us to a way that you really like us to go. And it was really nice to actually go through the material of this course with you. I hope you also learned what you are looking for. And like I said, you can also always communicate and let us know what you are looking for. And remember to learn in a smart way. That's our motto. Have a good day and bye. Hope to see you in another course.